I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, Nitin.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. During the previous session, we looked upon the RDS query component, where how can we load the data from any external database, okay, not only MySQL but any external database to Snowflake, okay. Then we also checked on the shared jobs, how can we create the shared jobs and how can we use the shared job, okay. The most important is the uh, most importantly the major use case is if you want to have the multiple instances of the same jobs to be run at the same time, then we can convert that as a shared job, right? Okay. The common examples we have seen our let's say audit job or our file loading info or any other task. Okay. Even if you want to convert your regular task to shared job, so no one is stopping you, right? So you can convert any orchestration job to a shared job. Okay. Uh, the next thing we'll see. Uh, just a second. Let me see. So yesterday we had seen this uh, basic administration. Do you remember, guys, whether we have seen this yesterday?
No, Nitin.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so let's see some of the basic administration with the Matillion. Okay, so as we have already seen this, right, there, like from the admin menu, the admin can perform various tasks, right? Downloading the server log, then user configurations, restarting the server, database drivers, checking the database drivers and all, right? So and few other things, these things can be performed from EC2 as well. Okay, so let's see how to do that. Let me just log into EC2 machine. Yeah, so this is my EC2 machine. Okay, so now let's say there are tasks, right? So let's say to set up the new users and provide project access and all. Okay. So specifically, the admin, can set up a new user from user configurations. Okay. But when we set up any new users or all the users, whatever we have set up, those users gets stored in one file on EC2 machine. Okay. And that path is this one. Uh, where is that? Yeah. So etc. Tomcat users.xml. Okay. So let me show you that. If I do cd etc. Tomcat, yeah. Here if you go to this path, you will see multiple files. So we have catalina.properties, with other cer certificate properties, server.xml, right? Specifically here, if we see, we have this tomcat users.xml. So this file will store whichever users we have created in Matillion. Yeah, you see. So if you see, let's say this username, okay, Abdullah, right? So this is user, this is the password. So basically, this password is hashed password. Okay, so it's stored in hash. And similarly, we have given role as an API. Okay, API means then it's not an admin role. Similarly, for Ramana, if you see, this is the username, this is the password, right? And this is the API role. If you see for EC2 user, since EC2 user is an admin user, that user is having the admin role as well, right? Here you see this admin role, right? So here in this way we can check users. Okay, This just an, I mean, not much useful. Usually we will configure the users from UI only. But if you want to check that, you can always come here to come to this file and check it here. Okay. Yeah. Now, similar to, we can also check our database driver. Okay, whichever we have uploaded. So as I said earlier, we can upload our custom driver. Okay, using this manage database driver option. Right. So here, whenever we upload anything, okay, any new jar file, then that jar file uh, will come into this path, user share tomcat drivers. Okay, so if I go to this user share tomcat drivers, yeah. So here basically the all the jars files which we have uploaded, okay, externally or manually, these will appear here. Okay, so that is the one place. uh, Importantly, the restarting the tomcat server, okay, or the Matillion server, right? So we also have an option from here to restart the server. Okay, so when we are saying that we are restarting the server, we are restarting the tomcat service, right? Because that is an application server. So this server can be restarted from admin menu from here UI, or there are other you can say commands as well. Okay, so systemctl is one command. So if you just hit systemctl, you will see all the processes which are running in the running on this system. Okay, so if you like basic dot target, it is active. This one is running, right? This one is running. So like that, correct. So, and now if I particularly grab for Tomcat, right? Yeah, you see Tomcat 8.service, and this is currently running. Okay, right? And now if you want to start or stop this, so the command is systemctl, then what you need to do, start or stop or restart, and then your service name. Okay, so this is basically a Unix command, you can say. There is nothing to do with Matlin here. Okay, uh, so if you want to just do restart, so what I will do is systemctl, then uh, restart, okay, and then my service name. That's it. So this will basically my restart the server. Many a time what will happen, you are, as I said earlier, right? Uh, your Tomcat, may not be able to free up the memory, okay, or free up the resources, right? And that's why it is not able to accept any new connections, okay. So such request during such time, the very first thing that you should do is you're restarting the Tomcat service, okay. Or if someone is not able to log in, or they are getting just, their connection is not happening to Tomcat or Matillion, right? Your screen is just loading and loading, correct? Sometimes you see the slowness in your Matillion. At that time, the first thing you should try is restarting the Tomcat service. Okay, systemctl restart.service. If you want to stop it for some time, okay, then you can just do stop, right? And to start it, just start. That's it. Okay. So this is how we can restart the server. However, admins will prefer to restart from here because there is directly an option, right? Now, yeah, so if you want to set up some, memory related parameter. So many times what happens, so see, this is a service, right, Tomcat. So uh, maybe like it is designed in Java, right? It is a kind of Java process, you can say, right? So this process needs memory. Sometimes if you want to increase some memory related parameter, okay, for Tomcat it, then you can set up the memory related parameters in this file. So earlier this file was etc tomcat.conf, but now in the recent version, what happened is Tomcat version got updated. So they have new path etc sysconfig tomcat it. I will ping you this path, right? So if I go to etc sysconfig and then tomcat it. Okay. Yeah. So the way we here we have set the Java homes, Java ops, right? Similarly, you can set up the whatever you can say the new um, right? The new variable or increase the memory using the XMX parameter, right? Java XMS and XMS parameter. So minimum memory that Java process should take and the maximum memory Java process should take. So you can set it from here. Okay. You just need to edit this. You can say variable this or this variable, and put your whatever the Java parameters you need. You can put it here. Okay. And lastly, the Catalina.out file. Okay. So this is a kind of a server log. And admin can download directly from this download server log option. So it will download a file. Uh, okay, but if you want to this um, uh, check on this EC2 machine, you can go to var log tomcat 8. Show you cd var log tomcat 8, and then catalina.out. Right. So if you see, so this is a kind of server log. Whatever the things which are happening on Matillion, so at the project level, everything gets tracked here. Okay. So sometimes, if you are facing some issue, right, with the connection or with your job, or jobs are stuck, right? So sometimes if you contact the Matillion support, then they will ask you for this log file. Okay. So just to check if anything if they can find anything within this log file, right? So for them, this is the first place to check basically. Okay. So no, the uh, no PII PCI information gets logged into this, so you can feel free to share this file with Matillion. Okay.
Normally, Matillion will be installed in Linux only. Anything,
Yes, yes, online machine.
but we don't want to deal anything. Like they will be providing everything.
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah. They will provide everything, right? So if you see, we have just launched that EC2 machine, right? And we have selected that AMI. So that AMI is coming with pre-built software. Okay. So the way when we purchase a new laptop, we get some of the pre-built software, right? Let's say Notepad and all. So this is how it is coming. That EC2 machine was having the pre-installed Matillion software, you can say. Yeah. I think I have those commands. Let me share with you. Yeah. So I'm just pinging this in the chat. Okay. You can just keep these commands with you for your reference. Though you will find it on, uh, online documentation. But yeah, you can just keep it for reference. So you don't need to rush anywhere. Search for this. Okay. Yeah. The next thing, I hope there are no questions here. It's pretty simple. The next thing we have is a supporting components. So supporting components, these are the kind of components which will basically complete your jobs. Okay, and the supporting components will mostly get included in each and every job that you developed. Okay, so these are pretty important, you can say, components. Okay, now there are you can say different supporting components. So job success, job failure, then you have and or if retry, right? Then we have transaction control statement. SNS is one important, and then this is just the different, like if you want to unload data from Snowflake to S3. Okay, so let's see some of the supporting components and how we can develop the jobs. Okay, so how basically we can complete the job. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me take a copy of this job. Okay. So uh, now with each and every component, we should always add their success and failure components. Okay. So success and failure components will always be your last components within your job. Okay. So if I just search for this in the flow category, you will get end failure and end success. End success is that means I need to end my job as a success job, right? So where I will add mostly you will only have one success component, right? And you can have multiple failure components, right? So maybe this is my last component, right? And after this I don't need to do anything. So what I will do, I will logically end that this job with an end success. Even if you don't add, then there is no issue. But the important thing is that when someone sees that this is the end success, that means he or she will understand that this is what the end of my job. Okay, there is nothing after this, right? Because if you see, there are no links after the end success, right? So we can add this as a last component. Similarly, if something get failed, we can add the failure components as well. Okay, like say now you see most of the components, you will get these three links, right? One is for success, second is for unconditional, and third is for failure. Correct. So what it will now what we'll do, we'll try to connect the failure. That means if this component is failed, what I need to do, I need to just end failure. Okay. Even if let's say now let's say again, if this component gets failed, I will add this. If this component gets failed, I will add this, right? But here the problem is what will happen if we have 15 components, we'll have to add the 15 end failure. So we should not do that. So instead, what we can do is we can use an or component here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let me show you the ones. Yeah. So what we can do, we can use the or component here. Okay. And what we are telling Matillion is now if this component fails, trigger my or if this component fails, come here, or this component fails, right? This is a or condition. Either this failed, either this fails, or if this component failed, or if this component failed, right? So this is or, right? So if any of the component gets failed, then this will trigger, and once this triggers, what I need to do, I need to simply end my job, right? So this way I can use end success and end failure component. Okay, so usually end failure you should design like this. You should not include multiple end failures unless needed, but you can always use or components. Or is nothing but either this triggers or this one, if any of the component triggers the failure link, it will come here, and after that you can do any processing here. So after that I am just using the end failure. Okay, so let's say if something gets failed, I need to send an email, or if something gets success, I need to send an email to my internal team, right? So for that we can use the SNS component. Okay, so if I search SNS service of AWS, it will give me the SNS component. Okay. Now prior to using that, we will set up the one SNS topic in AWS. Okay, so to set up that, what we'll do, we'll come here,
What
we'll
is
search
SNH
for
means?
SNS is simple notification service. So it is a kind of you can send email with that. You can send an SMS message to mobile number. You can send any HTTPS request. Okay, so there are different protocol that SNS provide. So to send an email, we can use the SNS as well, right? So since we have this SNS service, right, then why to use the custom Unix email component or the Unix script, right? So what we'll do, we'll just create one topic first. Here we need to create one SNS topic. Okay, so we'll create that. We'll create a standard one, and we'll use some let's say name, let's say SNS MTL. Okay, so SNS MTL we have given name, and this is optional. Now it is just telling if whether we need to enable our encryption or decryption, what is our access policy, right? Who can access this? that delivery method, right? So these are optional tags, and your cloud team will help you in setting up your SNS. Okay. So as of now, I have given the name as SNS MTL, right? So I will create a topic, right? Now, what I need to do, I need to create a subscription within that. Subscription means I need to add the email IDs of my team member, okay, whom I want to send an emails, right, for success and failure. Okay. Now what I will do to add the email, okay, I will click on create subscription. Okay. Now here if you see it is asking us to select protocol. So there are multiple, whether I want to select protocol as SQS or I want to trigger any Lambda, or I want to send an email or an HTTPS request or an SMS. If you select SMS, we need to provide the endpoint as mobile number, right? And now specifically here, I will select the email, okay, so that I can provide the email address of my team, right? Uh, I think let me copy that. I think I had this email address earlier. Yeah, I think these are the email address, right? So now let's say, yeah. So what I can do, I can just subscribe or this email. So only one email can be added towards the subscription. Then we need to create multiple subscription. Okay. So I'm adding for Abdullah first, right? So he joined, right?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think it's Fahad. Yeah. So yeah. So I have created a subscription for this email address, right? So I'm creating now. Yeah. Now that email address must, if you're seeing the pending confirmation, then you must have got one email, and it will ask you for confirmation whether you want to really subscribe to this email or not, or to this SNS topic or not. Okay, right. So you will get you need to accept that. Similarly, I will create for Ramana one. So to create that, what I will do, I will click on create subscription. I will select email. So far, you can accept that for now.
Yes, I got the
Yeah.
email and I confirm the subscription.
Yeah. And similarly, I will create for Sudhakar as well. Okay. And then I am creating subscription. Now what I did, I added the three email IDs through my SNS topic. And if you see, Fahad has confirmed. So similarly, Ramna and Sudha, you can confirm your by clicking on your email. Okay. Then you will get some email. Okay.
So, but you're saying that each of us have, so you need one new subscription for each of those emails. Let's say we have
E-
a class of 5 or 10 students, and then let's say whenever a job, essentially a team, right? Let's say we're a team.
mhm.
Essentially, when something fails, all of us need to be notified.
Correct. Right. So we
Cannot
need to
create a
add
group.
your email. No, no, group is not supported here
Okay.
as of now. Yeah. But yes, your topic is same. Your SNS topic is same. And on your topic only, we will publish our email messages. And based on the email confirmation, that email message will get delivered to those particular target emails. Okay.
Mhm.
Right? Your topic is same. Yeah. So for your team, you can either create, one or two topics. One is for your internal team. Another topic, let's say if you want to notify your business users. Okay.
Right.
So in some cases, so you can create another topic for them as well, right? Let's say some at the end of the your day, right? You need to say that yes, all the jobs have been processed, and if you want to notify, then you can notify them. Okay. Yeah. Other Ram and Sudha, have you confirmed?
Yeah, I did confirm.
Okay. Yeah. So we have these two confirmation. Now what I will do now, I need to send an email, right? Or send an SNS message. So right. So in the topic name, we will get the topic name, right? SNS MTL, right? Which we have just created. So this is my topic name, and now the message. Then what I can do, maybe I can just go to manager, okay, and I can say here. Wait, let me just zoom a bit. Yeah,
So,
and I can say here.
again,
Mhm.
is the topic name here? That's the same that you created in the
Yes,
SNS service, right?
yes, SNS MTL. Yeah, this is the topic name. So this is appearing in the drop down here. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so only what you create over there is what's going
Yes.
to be accessible here in the dropdown.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. If I create another one, I will get another one. Okay.
You'll
Now,
have multiple.
yes. Yeah. So now since this is a failure and prior to, so see, always remember, okay, this should be always your last component, end success and end failure, because after that there are no links, so you're not able to. So if something is failed, if you want to do any processing, you can do after that, send email, update any tables or anything, and then after that at the end have your end failure component. Okay. Now what I will do here, I will say that my this is job name and I will say failed. Okay, right? But instead of again using this static name, right, what I can do is I can use the
Variable.
built-in variable, right? Okay. So what I can do either is simply is dollar job name, okay, and then this is failed. Okay. Now if I just say this, it may confuse me because some of the developers may be testing their jobs in development, some of the UAT testing going on, and some of the prod jobs are also learning. So we are not sure whether that is something this SNS is for production or a UAT or dev, right? Okay. So what we can do, probably we can add that environment here. Let's say dev. But again, if you keep this static, if you need to migrate this job to next environment, you will not be able to change this. So what we'll do for now, that we'll create one variable, a nominal variable. Let's say I'm creating with name as MTL environment or Matillion environment, right? Okay, and I'm giving this like this is my dev environment, so I will keep it as dev. So in upper environment, I will keep it as UAT and prod, right? So with just the help of this, I would understand that this SNS belongs to my dev environment, right? So what I will do now
Is it
here.
possible, is
Mhm.
it possible to get the name of your Matillion server itself in there so that you don't have to change it when you migrate it to test and production?
No, there are different ways. That is not available, you can say, but yeah, you can get this environment name. Okay.
Okay,
So
okay,
if you follow a practice that you always prefix your environment with some or postfix your environment with dev UAT
right.
prod, then you can use
Mhm.
this. And there, this internal variable is available.
Right.
Environment ID,
Okay.
if you see. Okay.
Yes.
Uh, uh, so if you go here, since these are environmental variable, but these are built-in, right?
Got it.
Yeah, we have these, right? You can use project group ID, project name. Specifically, if you need, so specifically if you need this, then you can put your project name, okay, or the environment name in which it has run. You can put it in email subject rather than putting in the, sorry, not email subject, email body rather than putting in the email subject, right? Because your email subject should be short, not that long. Okay, so you can use all of this component. Okay, now what I will do is here instead of hard coding anything, I am going to use my uh, environment variables. Okay, so let's say I'm putting that environment name is square bracket, then open curly braces, close curly braces. I'm saying that metal environment. This is the variable which I created. Then hyphen, then job name. So for job name, I can use my job name as variable, and then whether it's success or failure. So this is my failure, right? So if I will say failed. Okay, so this would be my subject. Now for message, I can write anything. So hi team. Now the job. Now I can write job
Okay.
name, right? Has failed in, let's say, environment, and I can use not yeah. So I can use this variable. What was that? Environ environment name. Okay. So
Yeah,
this
we can
environment.
populate error message, right, Nitin? Like, okay, clearly, like we can populate. For example, if you get any error, also, like we can send through body. We can include.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I will tell you how to do that. Okay. Yeah. I will cover that. So what I'm saying. the job name has failed in environment name. Okay, so this is what I am just printing here, right? So, and specifically if you want to put your which run ID was this, you can put that as well. Okay, and then I can say thanks, right? Your team. Okay, right? So the job name has failed in environment, whatever environment we run this job, right? And whether it's a dev UAT prod, we have included that in the subject, right? So it is pretty clear to us, correct? Now similarly, what I can do, I can add that as well in the once the job before the job success, I mean job success parameter. Okay, so what I can do, I can correct this one here, and I will rename this. Let's say this is SNS success. This is just the component name. Okay, now here for me the matter is only changing this success, right? And Matillion job has or Matillion job is successful in environment. Okay, so if I do this, then I can simply perform any task. Now if I run it, right, you should get an email.
Can we be more specific in this, Nitin? We have, let's say, 5 or 6 components in that orchestration job, right? Can you include the component name where the orchestration job failed?
Yes, yeah. I will. That is what I think someone has asked it. Yeah, so
Oh,
we'll
okay, sorry.
cover
I
that.
might not
Yeah,
include that. Right,
yeah,
thank you.
yeah. So if you see, if you check your email, you must have got email that the job is successful in environment env mtl sfdev. Okay, because you are subscribed to that mtl SNS mtl topic, right?
Yes,
And
I
at the
got it.
same time, check for your subject as well, how your subject is changing, right? Okay,
Yeah, which has dev.
yeah. And now for me, if I just need to, use the same SNS, I can just copy, right? Copy and paste these two to any my other jobs. So I don't need to change anything as of now here, right? Because automatically it will take the job name, automatically it will pick my environment name, everything. Even if I run this job, everything would be, right? So this is how we can use the SNS. Now, now specific to error thing, right? So I think we had started that, but so I wanted to take that later on. So if you want to capture at which component, usually what will happen now, even if you don't capture that, okay, believe me, even if you don't capture that, when in your run history, you will get that, okay, that what
Right.
at what component you will fail. So in that matter, Matlin will simply show you at which component you will fail, okay. So you can capture, but yeah, this is just a little lengthy process. That's why I just wanted to take that at last. It's up to your choice whether you want to implement that or not, okay. Now, to capture any job variable, to capture any error which is occurred in any of the component, what you need to do is, okay, first that what we'll do, we'll just create one job variable for here. We'll name it as, let's say, JV
Yeah, can you take
error.
a new job, Nitin? Yeah, I'm getting confusing actually, like including everything.
No, yeah. See that, no. See, Sudha, see, this is how your job will be completed. See, if I, you know, uh, explain you in chunks by chunk or in different chunk, right? You will not able to relate the job. Okay. So if you see where we have started, okay, where we have started, right? If you see how we started using multiple components, how we started using transformation job, the grid variable, then how we loaded the grid variable from the external table, right? Using the grid iterator. So this is how we are transforming our job, okay? How we use the if components, query result to scalar component. And believe me, you will, I mean, if you see this complex job here, if you see any other job in your project, okay, you will definitely understand. Okay, that is what the matter is, right? What I want you guys to tell you how your job should look like in Matillion in real-time production. Okay, this is what you will use your SQL script component in most of the jobs. You may or may not use query result to grid, but you will use your query result to scalar component. You will use your if component. You will use one or more transformation job or orchestration job within a single orchestration job, right? I can just drag and drop this as well and run it here. Okay. Similarly, you will always use SNS end success or component in your job, right? So if, what you don't understand here, let me know. I will again explain you for you.
Normally, like actually, like if I take only a file to database, simply like there I could see like my error and I could find easily like uh,
Yes, yes. Yeah, exactly. So if I try to explain you the error component, how to capture error in just only one job, then it's okay. So my job, basically my job is simple. Okay, let me do that. Okay, 95 error. So that is good. So what I will do is simply is
here like we can load from database to S3 output. Unload is there, right?
yeah, yeah,
S3.
yes, yes, yeah, yeah. We so basically we have that scenario cover, but yes, if you want to do that, we can do that as well. No issues. So that's pretty easy actually for me. So I will,
That's enough.
yeah, yeah.
Normally,
So
like basically myself, I don't have much hands. Like
okay, 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 sure, sure, yeah, yeah, sure, that's fine. Okay, so here as well, what I will do, in real time as well, you don't want to recreate this component, right? If they are already available in your job, in your other job, you will also copy and paste that, right? And that is why I'm copy and pasting.
okay.
So yes, S3 unload. So it is reverse of S3 load. So S3 load will help you to load the data from S3 to Snowflake, and S3 unload will help you to unload the data from Snowflake to S3. Okay, let's say I'm selecting my bucket. This is my source detail. Whatever the prefix I need to give to my file, let's say I'm giving the data. Then I'm selecting my table. Let's say I want to export my team people. I will select that. Okay, and then whatever the file format, right? So whether I need to export as a CSV file or any other file or JSON or Parquet, as of now I will just select the CSV file. Okay, whether I need to include headers, yes, I'll make it as true. And simply if I run it, okay. Prior to that,
Override append
let's
append option also there. Append and append. Where is append?
where do you see append? No, append is not possible so in file. Append is not possible. What it will tell you whether you want to override this file or not.
Yeah, yeah. My requirement, I don't want to overwrite. I would like to append the data. It is not possible.
Yeah, so it is not possible using direct component, but what you need to do is you need to first export, this data to some different file, and then using Unix command, you need to copy that file to your old file or the original file. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and this is a copy command option. Even if you see, it will still generate your copy command. Copy into my this file from my dim people table. Okay. So whatever the commands, or if Snowflake supports in future that appending to an existing file, then Matlin will also support. Clear?
Okay, like we can create file, right? Like we don't have any file at
Yes,
S3.
yes, yes, yes. Yeah, this is what we are saying, right? File prefix, it will create with something kind of this file prefix. Okay. And if you come here, what it says, create files on a specified S3 bucket and loads them with the data from a table or Snowflake view. Okay, so it will create a file, right? So for if you need to capture some error or you have to capture that error, what we'll do first, we'll create a job variable. Let's say JB error. Okay, and now
We
as I
can
said,
create. We
Mhm.
can create these three things like job name and job ID and error.
Where in job variable?
Three variables we can create, right?
No,
Job
no,
we
no. Job name
normally.
is internal variable that we can use without defining that. That is a built-in variable which is provided by Matillion, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Here as well, if you see, I mean, here as well, if you see, we have used the job name as a this variable. We did not define it anywhere, but Matillion will provide you. Okay. So now, yeah, to export any error, or if you want to capture it in some variable, what you can do, you can click on Export tab. Okay, on my component, I need to click on Export tab, and then I need to click on Edit. Okay, or let's say I need to have get the component name as well. Na? Yeah, so let's me component name. Okay, so what I will do is I will edit. Yeah, so I will yeah. So what I will do, I will click on that export. I will click on edit. Then I need to export the variables. Okay, the source is nothing but what are source variable which have been provided for this component. Okay, which can be exported. So we can have the completed at, we can have component name, we can have message, we can have status, everything get captured. Okay, let's say I'm first capturing the message which my component will throw. In case of error, it will throw error. In case of success, it will not throw anything or just print success or something. Now this message I will capture in my JV error, and similarly my component name I will capture that in my JV component name. Okay, similarly if you want to capture any other parameters, you can capture it. Okay, based on your need. If you want to success, row count we have already seen, then we can capture it.
Yeah, message means like error message anything by
Yes,
default it will populate.
either error. If the component is success, then whatever component prints on the console, that will get printed.
Yeah, like it is coming as a by default variable,
Yeah.
inbuilt variable. Is
Yes,
it
yes, built-in variable.
where we can
Now
find the
and
export variable once?
this one here only.
This window how it can be open
Yeah,
this way.
so you need to click on export here and export and then click on edit. Okay, so let's say let's see if I click on my component. Okay, I need to click on export, go to edit, and I will find it here. If I click on plus, I will get. I just need to map them, my inbuilt variable to my job variable. Okay, so I have created JV error and JV component name. Okay, now if I need to capture them in yeah, so if I need to capture them in my SNS, so it's pretty simple, right? I can just have my this one, right? Error message, okay, and error component. So this is my job variable, right? Where I have assigned that error message, and this is my component, and this is my JV error. Okay,
Can we
so
can't directly we can define right here like instead of writing manually variable name. No.
no, first we need to create a variable, right, in Matillion job, and then we
That,
can
that
use.
is available. That is available. Like instead of writing manually text,
Hmm.
directly define. We can define like variable name. It can right click and populate like that. No option.
No, 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 no. There is no option like that. This is a text editor, na? That's why they have not given. I mean, email editor. So you can get your variable name and write that whatever message you need. Okay. Let's say if that's error, you can say please check logs in Matillion like this. Okay. So if I click now, if there is some error, then we can populate. Let me check if I can run this. Oh, it is not editing. And if I run it, yeah, yeah. If you see, if you run it, what will happen? This one, the job has failed, and error message parameter validation failure, S3 object prefix invalid URL, and in which component? S3 unload component 0. Okay. So S3 unload component is this one, right? S3 unload component 0. And it has captured the message. If you have any other component that can be also connected to same, let's say if you have SQL component. Sorry. So here I will use the OR.
Mail also triggered, right?
Sorry?
Mail triggered.
Yes. Yes. SNS has trigger, right? So you can check.
That
You can check. So you must have got this email.
my mail is not working. Might be some other reason.
Yeah. Yeah. Others can check. Fahad and Ramana, did you receive the email? The latest email with this error?
No, Nitin. First one we received.
No,
The
check in
first failure I
promotions.
received,
Check in promotions
yes,
on some other tabs, right? Promotions and
yeah,
on
yeah, yes, I got
updates.
that. I got that in the promotions. Yeah.
Yeah. So this way you can design your.
Okay, for example, if we have any component, there we need to make relation. Then only it is going to populate the details.
Yes. Yeah, that's correct.
What do you mean? Can you repeat that point?
Yeah, for example, we are using R, right? For example, we have a 20 components. Like
Right.
we are getting error in somewhere in 11th component. For example, SQL query something. So we need to include all the
Correct.
components relation
That
to this
export.
R.
Or yes, yeah, that's also true.
Then only
Actually,
it is going to give proper respective error clearly.
right,
So that
yes.
debugging purpose, it could be easily directly like we can go there and we can see what is there.
Yes. Important if you want to show that error message, okay,
Yeah.
in the SNS, then you need to export that, but at each and every component level, okay. So that is up to you how you want to design your job. Okay.
Then only normally like for example we have a number of components
Hmm.
like for example if you get error then we need to debug, right? Debugging purpose we need to add all the things, otherwise and
No,
then
no,
we need to
that is what I was saying. Even if you don't add here, let's say, or if you let's say don't export anything here,
mm,
okay, still I will be able to see the see my error at the component level in my logs. Let's say if I run,
logs we are not including logs, right? We are populating message to
correct.
email.
Yes, email.
So
Correct, correct.
we
But
need to see in email
mhm,
like what is the error directly, like
yes,
instead of going searching a job everything.
yes, exactly. But at the end, again, you will have to come to job, right? To check for,
Normally to
yes,
debug,
yeah,
to define the
exactly.
job, we need to come back. But
Right.
for example, like this is the issue, looking at directly looking at mail and understanding it is easy, right?
Yes. Yeah. So if you see, even if I don't export that, still I am getting that on this
How can we
component.
populate log file? In this case, log file. I want to populate to log file to mail. I want to attach log file to mail.
No, attachment is not possible from SNS.
How from other way? How come?
Yeah, there are other way. So you can use your bash script component or log component, and there you can print this.
There is a log
So
component, directly log component
not
also is
not
there.
not log on in the bash script component, you can have your logging script or something designed, and there you can pass that in a log file. Okay. So we'll
Normally,
show you how to use that Python bash component, and there I will just explain that thing.
for every job, where could be saved a log, Nitin?
No,
Like
log is stored in internally within the Matillion only. So all
Matillion
this
means
this
Unix
this log,
server.
right?
You mean to say?
No, you are saying that's internal log, or you want to store the explicitly externally?
Normally, I'm asking, like, for example, I am running this job.
Hmm.
So, somewhere, a log file,
Yes.
entire log file would be created, including server name, project name, and like all the stuff.
Yeah, so these logs and all this task history basically, right? So this task history,
Normally we are able to see this one. That is fine. Agree.
yeah, yeah,
Normally
I'm just
kind
I'm
of
just
log.
telling you that. Yes,
Mm.
yes, yeah, I'm telling you that. Usually this task history, this will get stored in the Postgre RDS database. Okay, so that is an internal to Matillion, right? So as we
So,
have, yeah.
so we'll be not having access in this case.
No, we will have access to this, but not to that. I mean, that is very internal to Matillion, okay? So even if you try to query that, you will not find anything useful. But that is internal to Matillion. There is not such log table which will get stored, but they store, the logs file. I mean, basically the logs in the Matillion format in the database, RDS database.
Okay, okay. Like I understood. Like
Yeah.
internally they are using Postgre database and they
But
are
we could
saving.
not use that. Yes, but we could not use or query that. We can
As a,
query, but we could not use their tables.
in this case, as a file, we cannot find anywhere in Matillion whatever we are using so far.
No, internally they will not store anything in the file, but yeah, externally we can store that using the file.
That is Nitin Ramana here. So that is why we model a new our custom uh, log table, and we use that in every component level, and we are logging it, right,
Yeah, yeah.
Nitin?
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah. It's up to you, right? You can, yeah, instead of, having that in the log file, you can store that in your log table. That's also possible. Yes. So in log table, you will need only three details, three or four details, right? Your job name, your run ID, right? The history run ID,
And
uh,
our custom message.
this ID, and your error message, and the time at which the error captured. That's it. You can easily do
Just
that.
to answer Sudha's question, I'm just
Yeah,
telling this.
yeah, 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 right. So the way I think, yeah. So the way we have the insert audit, right? So you can have just your single SQL script. You can write your insert statement, insert into your log table.
Yeah, Nitin, agree. But normally, like for example, like all together, all the information I need to get in single shot. For example,
I
like
mean, all the
what is
information of a single job.
yeah, like log kind of log actually
Yes.
like I need to see what is the server name, what is the port number, and what is the project name,
Yeah.
completely what is the orchestrate job, and all the like how many like concurrent details have been used, what is the target, and what is the path, everything completely like normally as I know, like all the details can be populated as a log file.
Yes.
I'm not
Yes.
talking about as a custom detail, custom kind of
Details.
file,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
inbuilt things. But
Okay.
as you said, it is not possible here. Like we cannot see anywhere file. Okay.
Yes.
Task
Yes.
history, like we can see, like for example, if you are running those details, like we could see always. That is fine.
Yeah.
Agree.
Correct.
Normally, like internal to like if you take any ETL tool,
Mm-hmm.
like all the things can be populated in a
Informatica
like
in a log table. Yeah.
Informatica or any ETL tool. As
Internal
in,
table you are saying, right? Informatica has some internal table. Is that so?
normally a log complete log details can be like we can like normally like we can find somewhere else in like wherever we.
No, but do you see them in a file
Yeah, we could see like
automatically?
automatically whenever job
Okay.
runs.
Mm-hmm.
For example, like if you take any ETL also, like where ETL server resides,
Mm-hmm.
there like somewhere else in XPath or TempPath, like somewhere else, there we could see like all the details.
Okay, okay.
Kind of file, completely
Yeah.
log file.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. No, no, no. That is not available in Matillion. But yeah, this task history is available. Yes. So to see that log file again, you need to go to Informatica server and see there, right?
Normally, like yeah. Whenever if you go to the path, then we could see regular
Okay.
path, every job
Correct.
history.
Correct. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that is true. So that is not available. That basically it is not storing in some log file automatically on some Matillion log file.
Okay, Nitin. Okay.
Yeah, that is true. But believe me, um, if I tell you frankly, once you design your job right in proper way, there are very minimal chance of error. Okay, this is because of this ELT functionality. Okay, specifically. Yeah, and if you want to see the logs for any, you can always go to task history. It will show you the entire log. No matter. Okay, yeah. So yes, and you similarly you can do as or component, if component, what are the component that you feel you can use them. Okay, fine. Yeah, yeah, we have seen SNS. Transactional control, these are something, commit and roll back, right? Um, where are these components? Under transactions. Yeah. So transaction control, these are like commit, rollback, and begin components. Okay, if you want to put your transactions right if you want to put your statement within a particular transaction, you can use this begin, commit, and rollback. Okay? But since Snowflake has complies to ACID properties, right? So either it will complete a transaction or it will roll back completely, right? So uh, it's okay if even if we don't use this. Okay, yeah, there was one retry component as well. So retry is just to retry. So it may happen that that this my S3 load component may get failed or it is not able to make some connection to Snowflake for now. Let's say. Right? It will not happen, but yeah, let's say. So what I can do, I can use a retry component here. Okay, and I need to just specify how many retries so I want to do. So sometimes it may happen, right? Your Snowflake URL is not accessible or it is down for a minute. Right? So you can use the retry component, and there are options like retry immediately, retry with long delay, and all. So they have given here. So retry immediately, it will just retry immediately. Short delays, it will approximately wait for 2 seconds. Then long delay, it will approximately wait for 15 seconds. And short delay with backup means it will first wait for 1 second, then 2, then 5, then 10, 20, 40, like this. Okay, so you can choose this. Okay. Let's see if I use the long delay, then if something gets failed, right, then if this component gets failed, then it will retry after 15 seconds or so. Okay, this is how we can use the retry component. Yeah, not much useful. I mean, not used actually, but um, because the Snowflake availability and Matillion or the AWS availability is very good, right?
It is only retry means kind of loop activity, not right. Only retry means like whenever failure, again it is going to run.
It will retry. Yes.
But not a loop actually. Like I need to process files,
No,
so
it
I
is.
don't want to
Yeah, yeah. No. That is it. This is something different. This is retry.
retry.
Yeah,
Can
retry
we
if
get
if if if
can we get
failures.
examples, Nitin, in documentation? No, right? For example, like activity wise examples, can we get anywhere?
Yeah, you can go to you can search on the Matillion YouTube channel and you will get some of the videos there.
Not much actually. Myself, I did not find much actually. For example,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have many activities, lot many things here. For
Yes.
example, if you get a clearly picture, for
Mm-hmm.
example, this component, could be useful this scenario, when and how, properties,
Okay,
internal
that yeah, yeah,
properties.
that is not there. You can either go to Matillion community, METL community. You can then go to forums, and here you can check. Okay, whatever the queries that that people put here, right? About the API, Excel query component, special character, right? Set the dynamic SFTP. All these things you can just check it. Okay, here on the Matillion community. I will ping you this site later on.
Nitin, for me actually, like I wanted to use one instance, and this one S3 create, like you have created, right, in AWS
Mm-hmm.
files and all, sample files and all.
Mm-hmm.
Like for practicing purpose, actually, I am not at all doing practice actually. Like
Yeah,
if I do for
yeah.
one
So have you
instance,
not? Okay, so have you not practiced when we created these jobs? SC and all?
normally few I practiced. I have done
Okay.
practice. I mean to say like timings also, like
Yeah, yeah,
allowing this
yeah.
also. It
During
seems in a
office,
cost, right?
out of
That is
hours.
what I'm not asking.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I like for example, if once I configured that Amazon or Azure or anything, then directly like time, like I cannot have not confirm like this is the time I'll be free like that. So whenever I
Okay.
have a time, like I can go through. Once you show this
Mm,
Amazon
yeah.
configuration, that files
Okay.
whatever we have files, then we can
Mm-hmm.
place there and Excel sheet and XML and JSON, like
Yes.
everything like practice purpose, like it could be like good for me. That,
What
that is
what
what
you
I think.
can try, yeah, we'll see if that works. Then what you can try otherwise, if you want to spend a little
From
money.
for connectivity is okay. From local also we are able to fetch. That is fine.
No, no, no,
Connectivity.
no. So local we are not able to fish. That is not possible.
Like if it is on premises, then
No, then you will have to transfer that to S3 first. On local it is not possible. What you can do, if you want to, purchase the Matillion instance, right, for let's say 14 days trial. Okay. What you can do is you can probably, create your own email domain. Okay. Right. So email domain nowadays comes within a 500 rupees per year, 500, 600 rupees. Okay. You can purchase your own email domain. Then you can launch your own Matillion instance from Matillion Hub, right? And launch it in your AWS account, free tier account. Okay. So obviously for first 14 days it will be free, right? And once you are once you are done with that, so I mean, once you are done with your practicing, always stop that service, stop that instance, the way I do, right? Now after 14 days, okay, whenever you need to practice, okay, that time whenever you just keep on that your instance on, it will just charge you around $2 per hour, per virtual core per hour. Okay, so close
normally we
to
can we go with a new user ID and password or
no,
another
no, no,
file?
no. So see, on Matillion Hub you can create the user your account only with your business email. So you will need to have some email domain, or you can create your own, correct? uh, but if you try to use the Gmail and Yahoo, then that will not work. Okay, but yeah, there is option. You can create your personal buy your personal email domain, and then you can open a Matillion Hub account. However, we'll still see if that our we are able to access our Matillion bucket from the Snowflake Partner Connect instance. I think yesterday someone was trying, right? Within this class only, na? Fahad, no, no, I think that was in some
Another
different
class
class.
maybe.
Maybe, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, yeah. Yeah, some other class as well. Yeah, let me see if I can get something, some solution around that. So I will let you know. Okay. But yeah, I think we can try. Mhm. Uh, if we make our bucket public, then it's easy. Okay, so we'll try that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now let's look at some other thing, which is S3 type 2 implementation. Okay. So S3 type 2, we know, right? It's a slowly changing dimension, correct? So slowly change, there are different types: slowly changing dimension 1, dimension 2, S3 type 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Okay. So now we will see, you know, how we can basically uh, create an S3 type 2 dimension using the Matillion. Okay. So for that, I have created one table. Okay. I have created one table, which is
In
the
Snowflake, just a common question. I'm looking at the DDL, right, for your SF orders. Is that always how it is for a varchar? You define the maximum possible byte length,
no, no. I mean, yeah, see, that is what we should take the benefit of, right? So varchar is a variable length, correct?
right?
Either you define maximum, or you define, let's say your column is only coming up to max 100. Okay, right? Still, it will always take whatever the actual length of that string. Okay, since this is a variable character, right? And if you define like this, it will always take the, I mean, it will create that row and it will assign the maximum of, you can say, length to that. But if my row ID is only 10 character, then it will consume only 10 character space. Okay, that is what the variable length character is, varchar, right? If you have any static, then you define as a char, right? And if I define char as a 10, it will always gonna take the 10 memory blocks, not blocks, what we say,
Bytes.
sorry,
Bytes? 10
yeah,
bytes?
bytes, yeah, bytes, yeah, 10 bytes, yeah, right? But the benefit with varchar, yes, if you define that, you define it maximum, but if my length is only 10, then it will occupy only 10 bytes.
I believe I had this same issue when I was working at one of the clients and I'd created a table where there was some customer ID or something like that. And even though the typical length of a customer ID was 10 or 12 characters, I ended up
Mhm.
defining 100 characters.
Okay,
I remember my architect picking up an argument with me saying, even though your data might
yeah,
only be 10 characters, but you define it 100 characters, so when you're writing joins on those tables using those columns, your index space is going to be pretty big based on how much you're defined. So you
okay.
only define as much as you need. I don't know how true it is. He's much senior than me, so I didn't argue with him.
Yeah, 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 that is better. Yeah, even that is, I think, new for me. I think so. But was that with Snowflake only?
No, it was Teradata.
Okay, okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, might be true, but yeah, I'm not sure on that part. But yeah, so it's up to you then. If you want to define whatever things, you can define it. No issues. Yeah. Okay, so on SCD type 2, so I hope like we all know the SCD type 2 implementation, right? So this will basically maintain the history. So what is happening till now in the dim people, which is a kind of SCD1, we're not maintaining any history. Okay, so let's say, so for example, Anna, right? So she is now in West, right? And later, if she moves to East, this record will simply get updated. So here West will get updated by East, right? So we're not maintaining any history. But with S3 type 2, what will happen is we will maintain the history for each and every record, right? So if some people moves from one region to another region, or his name got changed, then we'll maintain that history with the help of S3 type 2 dimension, right? So we have this ID, person, region, then started and end is something. These are audit columns, right? That we usually add to our S3 type 2 implementation, correct? So wherever
Yep,
you
yep.
see the, sorry,
Yeah, yes, yes.
yeah. So where is that? I did not create this with sequence. Okay. Okay, let me create this. Yeah, so wherever end date is null, that means my record is active, and where end date is populated, that means my record is not active. And SK is kind of surrogate key that we add to. Usually we add to our dimension, SC type 2 dimension table.
So just a question while you're here, right? When creating tables within Snowflake, do you actually create primary key constraints on the table?
No, I think on Snowflake, primary key constraint cannot be enforced.
It doesn't get enforced, right? But you can just create
Yes.
just to see what
Yeah.
the table
Yes.
particularly.
Yes. 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 Just
Creating by default primary key.
no. 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 By default. So constraint are not getting forced on the Snowflake.
Example, like you have we like huge amount of data, like how can we handle without the keys and indexes?
No. No. That is a Snowflake concept, right? That is a Snowflake design. They are not enforcing the primary key constraint. So,
Might be
so you need to ensure that whatever you are inserting, that is a unique. So let me create one sequence. I'm creating one sequence. That is sequence name. That is sequence dim people SA2. Okay. Let me just check the syntax. Huh? Mm. Okay, yeah, starts with 1, increment by 1. Yeah. Yeah, so I have created this sequence. Okay, and now what I can do here, I can define its default value. I can define the default value, right? So for people SK, what I will do, I will define its default value as this as a next val, right? Yeah, next val, right? So I have created a table. Now see, this is the functionality which Snowflake has given, right? Or most of the database are not given, right? Then why to create our external logic like we do in Informatica, right? Creating the variable, storing that variable value in the previous variable, getting the next variable value, increment by 1, right? So that thing we need to change a bit. So here I am creating a sequence. Okay. So
Database sequence, right? You are creating database sequence.
yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. After like normally like by using Matillion also can't we provide unique numbers?
Yeah, that is what I was saying, right? There we will have to, do some extra processing again, right? So if Matillion, if Snowflake already provide this surrogate key, this sequence, right? So why to not use that? But yeah, there are ways you can apply your logic and you can create, no issues. Okay, so here I have created this table, right? Now let's see how can we create a SE type dimension. So for that, now let me see how much data we have in SF people. 12. Okay. Mm, yeah. Are there 12 people? No, right? 6. Yeah, we have 6 rows. So let's say we have these 6 rows in SF people table, right? So this is my source now, and I need to populate this to my S3 type 2 dimension, right? Dim people S3 2. So what I will do, I will create one transformation job. Okay. Okay. Now what I need to do, I need to read the using table input component, right? So I will read it, right? So what is my source now? My source is SF people, right? So SF people I have selected. I will select the column name. So let's say I will need all the columns. So I'm selecting all. Okay. If I come here, check the sample. Yes, we have 6 records. Now, usually what we do, we, now to identify whether this record is present in my target or not, I need to have that lookup kind of thing, correct? That,
I know.
yeah, so we can use the lookup and all, correct? So here, and then we join those two floats, correct? Right? So what we'll do, we'll also read our, as a lookup, we'll also read our target table. Okay. Let's say this is my read
Target.
dim people sread2. Okay. So here now what I will read, I will read the dim people sread2. Okay. And now the columns I will read sk. Okay. Person and region. Okay. These things. And if you need ID, yeah, we can keep that as well. So I have selected these 4 columns, right? People SK, because on the basis of this I will join ID, person and region. So these 4 columns I have selected, right? Now if you select, yeah, there is no data, but we have this end date as well. Sorry, I need to select end date. Yeah, so we have this end date as well, right? So wherever the end date is null, that means these are active records, and I just need to filter the active records, correct? So what I will do, I will use the filter.
Normally,
And
like which column? Key column. Actually, key is main important, right?
yes, key
Key.
is SK. People SK is
That
our
is
key.
surrogate key, right?
Yes, this is surrogate
This
key.
surrogate key. Like what
Yeah,
about regular primary key? It is
this
not
ID.
available.
ID is my primary
ID
key.
is also primary key, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will select filter, and what I will filter, I will filter based on end date is, yeah, end date is null, because I know I only need the active records. To get the active records, we have our end date is null.
Can you give the same thing when reading the dim people SCT2
No,
um,
the filter,
in the
right?
SQL? In the SQL, can you not add where null date is null right there?
No, this is not editable. This we
Oh,
cannot
really?
edit, but this is generated.
Okay.
Yeah. But at the end, this is appending my filter to this only. If I expand the references,
Right, right, right.
this is
Yes.
my previous, and yeah, you don't need to worry
So
about
it
that.
just keeps building that SQL, right? Okay.
Yes, yes, exactly. It keeps building on SQL. So you just try using the components and you can just keep building. Yeah. Now, now this is my one flow. This is my second flow, right? Now I need to compare these two, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
And I need to identify whether my record is changed or whether my record is identical or whether my record is
Correct.
new, right? So for that, in Matillion, we have detect change component.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so detect change is simply it will detect the change between your two flows. Okay, so for the detect change, this is not that this is a target dimension table, this is a source table. No, between any two flows, you can identify the changes. Okay, so what you will do now, I will use the detect change component. This is my first flow, this is my second flow, and I need to use it. Okay, so my master table, I mean the table with which I need to compare. So my master table is, so in turn for this component, my source is filter 0, right, which is coming from this read dim people sd2. So I will select my master table as filter 0, right, which is
Now,
this
a master table means here reference table, target table,
this one reference table with which we
target
need to
table,
compare.
target table. That is
Yes,
target table.
yes,
Yeah, look at
yeah, and match keys. So based on what we need to match. Okay, so we can match based on IDs, correct, because this is my primary key.
right.
So I will match based on ID, correct, right, and then it is saying compare columns. Which all columns you need to compare in your these flows, okay, when it is trying to detect the differences.
So
So I will
Nitin,
compare
when your match key, right? Um, do the column names have to be exactly the same? In this
exactly
case,
same.
ID.
Yes, yes,
What if I have a customer code in my
yeah,
SF people and I have to match it to customer ID in DIM SCD2?
yeah, then use a rename component and rename your columns.
Okay, but it okay. So in the end, it has to match before you get to that
Yes,
point.
yes, so here I can, yeah, so yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, we need to rename that. So I will match based on key ID because that is my primary key. And in the compare column, I will compare these two columns, right? Because my ID will not change. This is my primary key in source. So I will compare person and region, okay? And output mapping. Right? So if you simply click on add all, now it is important. What it is doing? We have input columns and output columns. Okay. So whatever the columns that you have in your compare, okay, right? They will appear here, right? Now for update or for insert, what I need, I just need a column from my source table, right? This table, correct, which is my compare table, and this is my master table actually, right? So I need only the columns or values from this. So what I will do, let's say when I did add, I will just select the columns from compare. I will not select other columns, right? Sorry, um, I will not select this, right? I will just select compare means this is coming from SF people, right? Okay, and whatever the output column we need to give, right? Okay, and now
I need ID
along with,
column also, right? I need.
yeah, yeah, so we'll get that. So along with that, it has one additional column, which is a indicator column. Okay, it automatically adds the indicator column to each and every I mean, irrespective, we don't need to select this, but it automatically will add the indicator. So we can give it rename, we can give any name, flag or something like that. Okay, so it automatically adds the one additional column, which is indicator. And what does this mean is, if you come here, indicator column has these four values, C, D, I, N. Okay, right? So C is changed record. The record has been changed. Okay, the D is record has been deleted. Okay, with respect to master. I is record is identical, that means same. And N is the record is new, which is not present in the master. Okay, so it flags our rows either as C, D, I, or N, right? Correct? If the record is not present in the target, then it will flag it as a new record. Otherwise, if the record is already present and it has changed, then it will flag it as C. If the record is identical, that the values are same, it will flag it as I. You see, indicator N is new because nothing is present in my target now. Okay, so it has flagged that indicator. Now it can have, based on our data, it can have I, identical, changed, new, anything. Okay, right?
We added filter. Why, Nitin? Actually, filter.
Yeah,
Uh,
filter here to get the active records, right? As I said, right, in SCA type 2.
Normally, like we are comparing with entire table, right? Active or inactive, it doesn't matter, right?
No, why to compare the, yeah, the previous records
ID would
in
be same,
inactive
right?
record? No,
ID,
ID would
ID.
be same. ID ID would be same. Yes, that is true. But if you have worked on previously on SCA type 2 implementation, we always compare with the only with the active records,
Active record.
right? Yeah,
Active.
not the inactive records. Now see, if someone today lives in Chennai, okay, and tomorrow he moves to, let's say, Mumbai, right? So what will happen? This table will have two records, one with Chennai and one with Mumbai. So what is his latest one? Where he is living now? He is living in Mumbai. So for that Mumbai record, the end date will be null, and for Chennai, end date will be set to something when he moved from Chennai to Mumbai. Okay. Now, when again that person moves to some different location, let's say Hyderabad, correct? Then what will happen there? Now, for that, which is the latest city? That is Mumbai, right? So I need to compare Mumbai with Hyderabad. I don't need to now look at the Chennai, right? Because that is already marked as a inactive, and that he already left that city.
Okay, every record. Actually, I'm not new to SCD too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No.
Every record would be null for every record, indeed.
For every active record, okay, where that current city is, that will be null in end date. But uh, for inactive record, right, you will have the value as a end date, some populated date in the end date. Okay. So you can try to read out that SCD type 2 dimension. Okay, you will find that anywhere. And during the practice, during this, right, you will get to know few things. Okay. So once we complete this job, right, so we'll get to know. Just bear with me there. So here, what I am doing, I'm using the detect change component. Okay, and I'm telling that I need to compare these two flows. So my master flow is this, and this is my, let's say, compare flow or child flow. Right, so I selected this master flow. I need to compare based on ID column, right, and I need to compare the person and region columns. And in the output column mapping, I am giving these two, right? So if I give sample, I will get something like, now by default your ID will automatically come when you select in match key. Your ID will automatically come in that. You see that ID will come. We have selected person, region, and indicator. Okay, so that's why we don't need to select the ID here, not here, here. Okay, now what I need to do again, if you, as I said, this the indicator column can be new, can be identical, or changed or deleted, right? But I'm more interested in identifying the new record, right, which are not present in target, and modified record or changed record, right? The way I see, right, if someone moves from Chennai to Pune or Chennai to Mumbai, right, I need that record. And if there is some another new customer, okay, which I just use our services, that I need to insert into dim people. Now again, what I do now in filter, okay, I will just filter out the records for changed and new. Okay, because I don't need identical, I don't need deleted, right? Okay, why? Why should I delete my customer, right? So what I will do, where I will say that indicator is equal to either n, which is new, or my indicator is equal to c, that is changed, right? So I will filter only new and changed record because that is what I am interested in, and that is what I need to populate my SCD type to, right? So new customers which have used our services for the first time, they will be marked as new because they will not present in our SCD type dimension, and modified if some customer have changed their attribute, then these will be captured as C, which are the changed, right? Correct. Now, if you see here again, the same SQL will get generated, and at the end it will apply the filter and oh sorry, I need to apply here combined condition as or, right? Because either I need new or a changed. Okay, both I can accept, right? So I will use or. So here indicator will either be n or for new record or c for changed record. Okay. Now next thing what I need to do, if you see here, I need to populate the start date and end date. Correct, right? Okay. So for that, as we use the calculator component, right? We can use the calculator component here. Correct, right? And what I can do now, I can calculate my start date and end date. Correct. So the way we did. So what I will do, I will add two expression. Let's say I'm specifying here start date. Okay. And here I'm giving, let's say, current timestamp. This is my start date. And in end date, when I need to populate end date, see, the end date is getting populated only for the change record, right? Right. The record for which I need to mark as a inactive. For only that purpose, I need to populate the end date. So what I can do, I can give
Current date.
v end date. Okay. There are multiple ways to implement. Okay. So what I can do, I can write my case expression. So case when my indicator is equal to C, that is changed, then only use the current timestamp. Okay. Else put it as null because that will be my active record, right? If for new record, I need to mark that end date as null. Else null end. Okay. Right? Because if my record is changed, that means I need to populate the end date for that record. Correct. Right? To mark that record as inactive. Otherwise, I don't need to mark that as inactive. I need to put that as null because that is a new record. Okay. So I define start date because yes, start date will be required irrespective whether my record is new or changed, and this will be my end date. Okay. Now, what I need to do now, now I have identified here till this point I will get the new and change record, right? Now first thing what I need to do is I need to update my old records. I need to mark them as inactive, right? Because let's say if someone is moving from Chennai to Mumbai, right? So that Chennai record which was already present in my SCD type 2, I need to mark that as inactive, and I need to insert a new record as an insert a new record as an with end date as null, right? That is an active record. So to use that, what I will do specifically, I will use the table update component. Okay, and I will update the record which are already present in my target table, right? Which are right, because these are changed, right? And here again, now if you see till date here till this point, we will get both the records, change and new. So what I will do, I will apply another filter. Okay, and here which record I need to update, only modified records. So here I will apply filter like my indicator is equal to C. Only the modified record, take that and update that to my final table. So I'm using table update component. So which is my target table? SCD2, right? This alias, and on based on which thing I need to update, I need to based on the ID. Okay, right? So I need to no, I don't need to delete, I need to update. So I'll update it, and on the basis on so here what all things I need to update, I just need to populate only one thing, which is a end date, because I just need to mark that as a inactive. I will back this v end date. Okay, right?
What is
And
that
the
table
yeah
update? Okay. Table update
yeah
transform.
table update component. Yeah, there is table output which will use to append the data. Now in the expression, what I will do, I will update based on, I will, okay, I did not get the SK, yeah, surrogate key. Okay, let me take the surrogate key as well from here because I will need that surrogate key. So yes, let's say I will mark this master people surrogate key, right? It will automatically populate. Now what I will do, I will join based on my surrogate key. Okay, because if my record is already present, that means the surrogate key will be same, right? So my surrogate key equal to surrogate key. So target is my SC type 2 and input is my, which is coming from my job, right? So target dot people sk equal to master dot people sk, right? So I am,
Normally, surrogate key will be not available in input, right?
no, it will available.
ETL can be generated surrogate key. Like my source table, it doesn't contain any surrogate key, as I believe.
No,
But
it
this is
so
only,
it,
That
this
it,
is
is
it
for
only
is
for
inserting.
it is considered. Yeah, we have,
but this is only for the update pipeline so far, right? That's the
yes,
reason we're
yes,
getting.
yes, yes, update pipeline. Yeah, so I will show you how it will work, right? So what will happen now in case if we join based on ID? Okay, what will happen now? Let's say for the same customer who moves from Chennai to Mumbai and again it moves from Mumbai to Hyderabad, right? So with the new process, what will happen? We will have two records in my final table, right? One with the Chennai and that will have the end date, correct? Right? End date as some set, and then one record will have that as a without end date, that is end date null, right? If we try to update with this condition, what it will do, it will simply update both the records, right? Okay, if we try to update using ID, so what we will need to do, either use ID and put um, where uh, where my target dot end date is null, okay, that way, or either you can use the surrogate key as well. So it's up to you. If you want to use uh, ID, we will have to put the extra condition where my ID equal to ID matches, right? And my target dot end date should be is null. So this I need to keep. So as I said, there are multiple ways to implement the SC type 2. So it's up to your implementation, how you want to implement. So let's say for now, I will go with the SK. Now this is only for update. Okay, this is not for insert, guys. Only for update. Now in our scenario, we will get zero record. Now how? Let's check that. In the filter, if you see, I will get zero record because my target table is empty now. This is very first time I am doing the load, right? So everything will be insert, right? And now what I will do to, now again I will insert the record in my some temporary tables, intermediate tables. Okay. Now here, what I will do, I will insert the record. Now the issue here, what I can do, I can simply select SCD type 2 right here. Correct. So here I am updating record, here I am inserting the record. Correct. Right. And I can do that within a single mapping. But now here the issue is at the end, as I see, right, as I told you earlier that uh, well, I'm showing, yeah. As I told you now, at the end, whichever the end components are there, Matillion, okay, will take those SQL queries and send to Snowflake for execution. Correct? So in this case, how many target component I have? I have one as an table update. I have one another as a table output. So that means there will be two queries, right? And there will be two queries which will be sent to Snowflake for execution. Okay.
Or two separate queries, they don't get merged.
Yes, they don't get merged. And issue is, but here the order of queries which will get submitted first to Snowflake, that is not fixed. Either Snowflake can send this first or and this later, or Snowflake can execute this first and then it can execute this. The problem here is what would happen now in case if my update query gets executed first, then that is well and good. So my update will execute first, it will mark my match record as inactive, and then my new record will get inserted, correct, new and modified both. But what happened, just imagine if my this query is getting executed first, then what will happen, it will insert my new and change record both, correct?
Then the upgrade will
And
run
then
both of them.
update. Then it will flag my newly inserted record that as an inactive
Inactive.
record, right? So that is why the execution of the queries which will be sent to Snowflake, or the order of the queries which will be sent to Snowflake from Matillion, that is not fixed. And even it is up to Snowflake that whether to execute this query first or this query. So based on its resources and all, that's why we need to have a temporary table. Again, there are other ways to do that, but yes. So this is a kind of some standard way we can implement, and they also have some their SE type to implementation on their side, so we can look at there as well. Okay. So that's why what we are doing first. Now we'll update that only the new or only the modified record, that because we need to mark them as inactive, and we will insert here now both, right? We'll insert the new record and plus change record, right? Because it is SCD type 2. Now let's see what happens here. So if I do the sample here, yeah, I will get this inserted record. Okay, yeah. Now instead of using table output, what I will do, I will use a rewrite table component. So rewrite table is nothing but a create or replace. If the table is already present, it will create that. If it is not present, it will again create that. Okay. So replace, create or replace statement. So let's say
Replace or, for example, truncate and load, is it?
no, it is not truncate and load. It is create or replace.
Entire table would be
Yes,
deleted.
yes. It entire table will be dropped and it will be recreated. So I'm giving name something like stage dim s people S32. Okay.
Like,
Mhm. Yeah, you see the table output is overwritten in each time the component is executed. Okay.
So, so we're doing a rewrite for the update or so in the I mean in the general conceptually, right? You have two aspects, right? One is you're deactivating the older version, and then you're inserting
That yes, that we're doing here, correct? Yeah.
the deactivation.
First,
Okay.
yeah, and the next part, yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
So your deactivation, you're doing it in the dim people SCD2,
Correct.
right? And then you're
Yes,
inserting the new ones in the rewrite table.
along with modified as well, right? Because now I need to insert the new record or the new customer. Also, I need to insert my changed customer as well, right? Because of SCD2, correct? Both I need to do insert, right?
Oh, okay.
Update and
So,
insert, right?
hmm.
Yeah.
So
Hello.
So
when you do this, right? So when you do
Ora.
this, um,
Eda. Nuendo.
yeah, Raman, if you can go and mute. Yeah.
can you go back to that flow, please?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you have the dim people SCD2, and then you have the rewrite table. So
Mm-hmm.
the dim people SCD2 will deactivate your
Mm-hmm.
prior version, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you have the rewrite table. Rewrite
Mm-hmm.
table, just one more time, what does it do again?
Yeah, rewrite table is a truncate and load, you can say. Not truncate and load, it's a create and drop table.
Right.
Create,
So
yeah. So it will just create this table actually.
STG. Okay, so you just rename this target table here.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
If it is
I will
full
just
load, how
create
it
this
supports?
table.
Full load, how it supports in this case?
Yeah, let me come back to that. So here, what we are
Uh-huh.
doing, here simply we are creating a table every time.
Okay.
Okay, right?
Right.
Because this is a kind of temporary table, right?
Okay,
Temporary table
that's
we
fine.
need to have the stage table, and this table will have the
Mhm.
values. Sorry, this table will have the rows, the new customers as well as the modified customers, which we need to do as a insert,
What about the
right?
modified customers that the deactivated version of the modified customer?
They will update it here, right? They will update in a final table, right? Dim people SCD2.
Rewrite table is different table or same table?
No, no, different
Different.
table, stage table. I'm temporarily storing these values in my stage table
But your
temporarily.
rewrite table will have all the data set, brand new inserts as well as
Yeah,
um,
modified.
inactive version of the modified record, right?
No, no, not no, 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 not the inactive. If you see here, I have get the data from the compare columns. So compare columns is what? This. this is what my source, right? From where I will get my updated records, updated values basically. Okay. If I select from this, then my naming convention that okay. So here these master person and master region, that means these are coming from my master
Look at
table, which is dim
look
people
at
SCD2. But
yeah,
compare
look
person
at
comparison, these are coming from my SF people.
right.
Okay. So if I need to give something naming convention as like source, I can give that.
Yeah, that's much better.
Yeah. So this is my SRC source. And let's say this is my, as of now, I will say this is my TGT target. Okay.
But in that, so right next to the detect change component, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have that filter, right? So the filter only takes uh,
New and
equal
changed.
new and
All the
change, right?
records.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because
So
that is
now,
what I am interested in, right? New
correct.
customer
And
and the
change.
modified customer.
Correct. Okay. So come out of this, please. So in the calculator, you're assigning whatever that kind of output variables kind of thing, right?
Started and ended. Yes.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
That's fine. So only for the change record you're doing, otherwise it's null.
Yeah.
Now after this, what you're doing is the
No.
version of so the record that needs to be deactivated, you're sending it
Mm-hmm.
through the filter tool,
Yes. Yeah.
right?
Correct. Correct.
Now what you also
Even
need, go ahead.
yeah. So before that, yeah. Even if I don't add this filter, what will happen? From this flow, I will get changed and new both records, and then it will
Correct.
compare. Okay. Then why
Correct.
to that new record will not be present here. Then why to
Right.
provide that? Then I am just applying a filter that apply only changed record and then update it or
Right.
mark
So
them as
you're only
inactive.
applying the right. So you're only picking up your change record and then
Hmm.
insert basically marking it as inactive, right?
No
Correct.
inactive. Here
Yes.
you are not at all
Yes.
doing inactive, right? You
Yeah.
are making
Yeah. Yeah.
ended it is null.
Yeah. So yes. So what I'm doing here, we end it. I'm setting the end date to we end it, right?
Right. Which is
Yeah.
in this case null.
No, not null because this is change record, right? This is change record, correct? So what we are given here? If my indicator is C, that means if this is a change record, then
Right.
put current timestamp, correct?
Correct.
Else null. Else is if it is a new record, then it will put null because
Right.
new is new record. I don't mark that as a inactive. But for
Right.
change record, right, I need to mark that as a inactive.
Right. So
Kaja, for
from this
change record
pipeline,
you
you've
are
taken
making as an inactive. For
Sir,
change record you are inserting null, right?
no.
End
For
date,
no, no,
end
change
date
record, you
actually.
have to deactivate that.
yeah, so for change record, I need to deactivate. So I'm setting that end date to current timestamp.
Yep. It means
Okay.
that at this time, from this time until
Uh-huh.
this point onwards, your record was only valid until this current timestamp. That's what
Correct,
it
correct.
means.
Yes, yes, yeah,
You're taking care of deactivating that in this pipeline. And in
yes.
the upper pipeline, which is your rewrite table, you're inserting brand new records as well as newer version of an existing customer.
Correct. Newer version of existing customer. That's correct. But that I'm
Yeah.
inserting into some temporary tables.
Separate table.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, right. And now what I will do next, I will use, let's say, now I need to, what I need to do, finally in my this table, okay, in this temporary table, I have two types of record. I have new customers and I have the newer version of the existing customer, right?
You'll have
So
to
as
add
a
that
part
to
of
the
SCD
duplicate
type
list.
2, I just need to insert both, right? So what I can
Yeah.
do, uh, I can create a transformation job. I can give maybe um, insert.
So this transformation job will read from your stage
Yes,
dim people
yes,
STD and write into dim people STD.
that's correct, right? So I will read it from table input. Now in that case, my source is what? Source is
Your stage
stage dim
people.
people STD.
Yeah.
Okay, and my table output I will use,
STD2.
right? STD2. So here now what
Right.
I need ID, right? Because that is a new one, and
Correct.
for existing customer as well. I need compare person. Hey, why compare person? Yeah. Okay, so that table was created using compare person. Yeah, and then I need SK I don't need because that will automatically get incremented. Okay, and what I need is only the start date, right? I need ID, my new person, my new region, and my start date. These many things I need. When I click here, it
That
will go.
SK is kind of in your table definition, it's
Yes,
almost equal to your trigger in an Oracle table where you're inserting that.
yes, exactly. And now here, what I will do, I will end date I will not have, because end date, if I do not insert, then it will be null, right? So for start
Correct.
date, I will insert start date. For person to person, region to region, even I don't need to insert SK. Okay?
Escape.
So I am inserting ID, person, region, and start date. Okay. So
Yes.
and here I need to do append. So yeah, let me just see. Yeah. So if you see that we are having the ID, person, region, and indicator and v start date. Okay. And end date is null, right? Because everything is new now. And now if I run it, okay, and now I can check in my dim people S32 that yes, everything. Now this is a surrogate key which automatically got generated, right? Because in the default I have set this surrogate key next val and 10, 20, 60, right? Now let's check what if my data got changed in SF people. Okay, so right now we don't have updated file, so we'll just manually modify any one record, okay, in the SF people. So what I will do, I will manually update it. Consider that we got some update in SF people table. Okay, so I will, let's say for Anna, okay, I will set the region to some, let's say south. Okay, so region equal to south. Okay, where ID equal to 10. Okay, this is my you can say update record. Okay, this will update the record and this will set that to south. Okay, and let's say I'm inserting another record manually. So insert into dim people, right? And values. What are, hey, not dim people, SF people. And what are the values? Let's say ID I'm making as 70. Okay, and my customer name is, let's say, Jack, and its region is again east, or let's say west. Okay, so I am firing these two commands. Now what will happen in my SF people table? I have Anna, and her region is south now. Earlier it was
Yeah.
east or west, and I have a new customer called Jack who is from west, right? Now
Yeah.
let's try to see what happens with this. Now don't, if you want to check here, right? That is the beauty. Okay, if you go here, detect change, now click on sample. Now it will read SF people table which is updated. It will read my dimension table, right? Which have the data, which are the 6 records, right? Where end it is null, you see, right? Correct. And if I go to linear detect change, now if you see Anna, right? Her region was something east earlier, and now the region is south. That's why the indicator marked as a C. Correct? That is change record. And for rest, Kelly, Cassandra, Jack, these are identical record, I. And the Jack, which is a new record, which we just, or the new customer, which we just got, so that is a new record, indicator is C. So if I filter, I will filter C and N, right? If I go to filter again here, I will check. Yes, I will get only indicator C and N record. That's Anna. Anna is my modified customer, right? And Jack is my new customer, right? If I again come here, I will see only Anna, and if I come here, it will only update that, and it will insert both the records in this record, in this table, C and N both, right? Because I need to insert a new version of Anna, and I need to insert my new customer as well. Right? So if I
This
run
one
it,
output table, what happened? Right, target,
this one, right?
not re-rate, output.
Output is this.
No.
Okay, table output component. It is,
Yes.
yeah. So yeah, so it is same. It is used to
We
append
can
the
see. Can
data.
we see output here? Can we see output sample?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah. Let me explain this first, just not to break the link. Yeah. So if you see, I have inserted the record, and in the rewrite table, we have got the two record got updated. Sorry, inserted. Okay. And now, if I still now, okay, guys. So till now, I have not processed my the final step. Okay, I have just processed till my dim SC dim stage. Now, if you see here, since Anna was a change record, we had populated the end date for her, and since Jake was a new record, we did not populate it. Okay,
Mhm.
right? And now, finally, if I load my final job, right? Unrecognizable compare person. Okay, yeah. So I changed the column names, right? That's why.
So when you change some of those column names, is there an easier way to propagate that throughout your job? Like propagating?
Uh, mm, no, but yeah, no. But if you change in a first component, okay, it will change in all the following component except for last component. In the last component, since we are doing the mapping, right, we will have to do it some manually, but it will change in respective components, whatever we have in between. So, yeah, so I have run this job now. Now let's check in the dim people SCD what happened. Yes. So if you see here, Anna, right, which was from West region, and the same ID, Anna, now she moves to South, and now this is her active record. That means ended is null, and for her, the earlier record, which is West, was marked as inactive by setting the ended. Also, so we got new customer Jack, and that is an active record. Clear? So this is how the SCD type 2 implementation is. There are other ways. So instead of start date, end date, some use the versions, some use the active flag, like that, right?
Indicators.
Yeah, indicator, right? So it's up to us how to implement. But yeah, I see this is the most common way of using this start date and end date as an SCD type 2 implementation, right? So at a time for any primary key in SCD type 2 table, only a single record should be active. That means for only a single record, there should be an end date as null. For rest of the same primary key record, we need to have the end date populated. That means these will be inactive. And to check about table output component, so table output is nothing but just an appending to some table, right? So here also we can use that as well, okay. But since I was using the table output component here, that's why as a different component I use rewrite table.
What is the necessary to go for other table and again loading, like it doesn't support directly inserting and update normally, as I know, like with
Yeah,
single stage as
correct,
of now
correct.
possible.
Yes. So if you remember, while we prepare the dim people, we use the table update component, right? So it will
So
update as
first I need to know differences between rewrite and output and update clearly, like what it supports and what doesn't support.
mhm. Okay, yeah. So table update, it can help you to update the table or insert
Only
the table.
update operation.
No, or insert as well. We have used that, right? In this table update, include not matched. We can use the insert as well. But as I said, the if we club both in a single component, right, there will be queries which will be fired, right? But the order of the query, whether my insert will get executed first or my update will get executed first, that is not clear. That's up to Snowflake. That's why here in SCD type 2, we have just used update first, and then for inserting, we use the different table. Okay, so for table using table update, you can either do update or insert. Using rewrite table, what will happen is every time the table will be dropped and it will be created again. That is a rewrite table. Okay, and the table output, there are two options. Table output is used to insert the data. Okay, either you can, so you have the option, either you can append to the table, or if you want the table to be truncated before appending, you can select that as well. So if you select truncate, what it will do, it will first truncate the table and then it will insert. If you simply select append, then it will simply append the data for to the my target table. Clear? Yeah. So this is how an S3 type 2 implementation. This is one of the way I would say. As I said, there are multiple ways with which you can implement S3 type 2 using active flag, inactive flag, you can, using versions, right? So it's up to you how to implement that, and this is one of the way with which we can implement the S3 type 2 dimension.
Nitin, just to cover my heart, So we executed this as two jobs, right? Can't
Hmm.
we make this as uh,
No,
one
that is what.
pipeline?
No, that is what we are saying. Then what we need to do? We need to create a orchestration job and include these two jobs. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The orchestration we need to maintain O or something.
Yeah. It's up to you. But they have given icon. The blue is orchestration. The green is transformation.
You cannot have a transformation inside a transformation job, right?
No. We cannot. If you can give ORC as something kind of thing. So it up to you. Load people SCD2. Not load. I would say process. It's for me. Yes.
Before that, if you know joins, then it could be better, right? Before a CD, like how joining is happening.
Yeah. So if you see the SQL here, so it is not. Yeah. So if you see SQL, what it is doing, this is the indicator column, okay, which is populating, and this is the expression which is writing, okay. Case when a dot id is null, then it's a new record, right? A means our target, and case when bid is null, then it's delete. Case when a dot person equal to b dot person and a dot person is null and b dot person is null, then mark that as I. Otherwise, it's a C record. So this is a indicator. This is just writing the case statement. Case statement basically.
If it is type one, then I don't want to go for two jobs, right? Directly,
Yeah.
like I can use update statement only, update output
Yes.
only.
Yeah. So this is our type one, right? This is the very first transformation job that we
That
developed.
was our first transformation.
Yeah. This is type one only, right? If the ID is present, update it. If the ID is not present, insert it. So I'm not maintaining any history the way I maintain in my SC type 2, right? So with SC type 2, I know that Anna was first in the west region and then recently she moved to south, correct? But with the S3 type 2, you will not be able to say that what was the earlier region for Anna because we simply update there, right?
It confuse actually anything like, for example, like we don't know, we are not able to see structure at Snowflake, right? Like which column is not only not null only, like we can see primary key and all we cannot define. So where we can see the structure in Snowflake.
What you need to see, that means structure in the sense.
Like primary key or like only in this case actually primary key only surrogate key, right?
Yes, yeah, that's
Okay.
It,
correct.
so that it depends on our business model, how the table is designed, and what are the key columns
Key
that we
columns, right?
uniquely identifies your table from your table.
Correct. Yeah. So you may have composite primary key as well, right? One or more than one column as a composite primary key.
Okay, once we do practice, then I can get a clear idea.
Yeah, you will need to first understand the SCD type 1 and type 2 and why we do it, right? And what is the difference. Once you do that, then this is the plain logic, the way we do it in the any transformation job, right? There's the same thing what we do in SCD type 2.
Nitin, so just in case if we want to use that CDC generated SQL that we can use in our select query output transformation also, right? I mean, we can mimic that logic into our own custom
Yeah, this one, right?
in the CD. Yeah,
Yeah. You can copy this if you don't want to do your entire thing like this, right? Just, orchestration job, come into orchestration job, get your SQL script component and write it there. Or within the transformation itself, what you can do is you can create a transformation job and write your SQL script component here. Put that here.
yeah.
That's it. and this then use your table update or table output, whatever you feel like. But see, that is what, right? As I said earlier as well, you can write your whole entire process within entire ETL process with the